The Creative Inkster. Sorry for being a little bit behind. Got a couple of weird things going on here today. I'm not in my usual spot at my craft table. I do hope the internet's working well. We've been having some issues with it not connecting properly or staying connected. So hopefully that's going to work. Usually that's not a problem, but there's a little bit of a cold spot or a dead spot, I forget what they call it, where the internet's not working. So I'm going to do my best. If you have to watch the replay, that may work out just as well for you. Here's tonight's card. I do apologize, there's a wee bit of a shadow here as well. Like I said, I've got the BOGO going on this past weekend and a few people coming during the week, so my usual setup has changed and I'm kind of in a different spot here without any great lighting. Anyhow, getting done is better than not done, so that's what we're doing tonight. This card was made by my friend Wendy, whom I've known forever and ever, and we now work together at the City of Guelph. And I just love the idea of these circles on top of an embossed layer. And I think with the instructions, I may have forgotten to tell you about the embossed layer, but like that's really easy to add in. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to use different stamps though and different paper. So basically we need ourselves a nice card base. So let's grab some paper here. This is Night of Navy. She had used the Orchid Oasis in color, but I'm going to use Night of Navy. I'm going to cut this piece in half. So you can do a couple of things. You can cut it in half at 8.5 by 5.5, or you can cut it the other way at 4.25 by 11. And you've got two pieces for card bases. It's pretty simple. This way, the 8.5 by 5.5, I find a little more versatile. So your card can go this way, or it can go this way. And so I find if I cut cardstock, that tends to be a little more versatile for later. Hi, Glenda, thanks for popping in. So if you're if you're 8.5 inches wide, you're gonna score this at 4.25. And that's our card base done. Simple, simple. Then I need a piece of white cardstock. Now I thought I grabbed two. I did, good. And this is going to be my embossed layer. And I want it to be in, hi Brenda, a little bit indented in. So we typically cut this to 4 by 5.25. So let's go ahead and do that. That gives you a nice layer. Sometimes you have these leftover pieces. They're great for small greetings, and I might actually keep that one. 4 by 5.25. Okay, and so there's going to be our embossed layer, and I'm going to get up and do that. Actually, I'm going to be lazy and kind of get up and do that over here to my right. So I've got this embossing folder called Gingham. It's the one Wendy used on hers too. And I find when you line these up with your paper against the black line, the newer dies, embossing folders, will have the line on them. And that really helps you line it up to get it straight from top to bottom. If you line it up against there. If you've never noticed that before, well, there's a tip for you. So let's see if we can run this through the embossing machine over here to my right. And if you're at the BOGO on the weekend, you can just imagine the space I'm working in at the moment. Because there was lots of stuff, which I did promise to announce who the winner is of the Perfect Pomegranates stamp set. The person who guessed closest to the number of stamp sets, single stamp sets and bundles that I had in the sale. So I am going to do that before we're done. Somebody remind me. All right, so here's our Night of Navy card base, folded in half. There's our layer to go on top. And any embossing folder is going to do it. But the star of the show is these circles. So what Wendy had done here was taken two patterns from our, this is the 6x6 in color patterned paper. You get it in different colors, and then you can just, I think that's that one, or it could be wrong. Anyway, I think that's what it is. I think those are the patterns. I'm going to go a little bit deeper and a little bit different. I'm going to use this celebration paper. That's the opposite side, but this is the side I want to use. And what I want to do is cut out some circles. So I cut this piece a wee bit big so that I could see what I wanted to do. So I want one of the houses to actually be my focal point and replace the hippo here. So I want this to be one of the larger circles. So this circle for these three is the layering circles. That's about a 2 1/8 inch. And the one that's just up from that at 2 3/8 is the larger circle, and that's the one I'm going to put on this house. Because I was just playing around and looking at this. Which one do I like? Actually, this one looks nice because you can get most of the tree in. So that's the one I'm going to do this on. So let me cut that out. I'm just lining up my die. Run that puppy through. Trying to do it on a side table so I wouldn't jiggle the camera too much. As a result, I have this piece here. All right, and then I'm going to do some other circles. And I liked these trees because I thought they would look nice as well. So I'm going to put those, they're not like full trees, but you get the idea. So I'm going to cut 3 of the trees. And, you know, it's possible this one could actually be one that's cut in half. We'll try that. Let's cut 2 and see how that goes. Save a little bit of paper, right? Here's one. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I sure did. It was so nice. Hi, Belle. So nice to hang out with friends face to face, so to speak, during the sale, the BOGO sale. And then I had some time with my grandson because the kids, my daughter and my son-in-law, they went to a wedding. And so I got to hang out in my own hotel room at the hotel, just over in Kitchener. So it's only an hour's drive, or half an hour's drive. And I could hang out with them, hang out with my little grandson. So that was fun for me. All right, so if I were to cut this guy here, would I have enough? Well, let's find out. Save a little paper here, shall we? The paper trimmer going. So I'm going to try to cut it at around here. And we'll see how this is going to look. I'm feeling like I want to almost layer this one up even more, even onto a bigger circle. But, oops, where's the gingham piece? That's not the gingham piece, this is. So this piece would go here, and then one here, and one here. They kind of overlap, so maybe there's not going to be enough space. Oh, but yes, there is, because we're gonna do this in Night of Navy. I'm gonna find my scraps. I'm gonna see if I happen to have a big circle in here. Because if I do, well, then we're in business. We don't have to make any more cuts. But if we don't, I just grab the die and give that baby a little cut. Here's a nice scrap piece that'll work. That'll look nice. This is a nice shade. Yeah, looks like we're going to have to cut a piece. So I will grab the die. And I want the one that's a bit bigger than this die. Let's see. This guy is here. I think the next one's going to be too big. Oh, maybe not. Well, we can do it. If we don't like it, we can always do it again. Right? That's the plan. Give it a one go and take it from there. It's pretty big. All right. Cut this guy out. So, the guesses are all in for how many stamp sets I had. I had a lot of product out here, right? And I got to get rid of it. So I'm still going to have some other kind of sale to kind of get rid of more. And lots of guesses in the 150-ish range. But there were more, and more still. So the person who got closest was still under, but not by much. So I'm putting this one here. I'm just going to line this up so I can get a sense of, I could put a pencil mark, but I know I want to be around on this little line here. I should pull that up so you can see a little better. So if I've got it landing here, I want to do that on the other side. So I wonder if you can guess exactly how many I had. Wait a minute, something doesn't look right. There we go. That's where that one's going to land. So I have this Celebration stamp set to give away. It's the one that's the host benefit for having a minimum of $375 worth of sales in Canada. And the amount of stamp sets which I had in the sale was 228 stamp sets. And the person that I could see with the closest bid was Brenda Nelson. And Brenda guessed 225. So congratulations, Brenda. I have that for you, and I will see you because I'll have your order for you from the BOGO. Congratulations on getting that close. Oh my goodness. I could not believe it. When I added them up, I was actually shocked. So that was the start of the sale before the first person came. Holy cow. There we go. Don't you like this? This layout's fun and so easy to do. So you can use punches or dies, or if you don't have either and you just have some basic tools, you could draw around whatever circular shape you might have that's a circle and hand cut it out. No one is the wiser. No one needs to know what you're doing. They're just going to love your card. They're going to look at your card and go, oh my gosh, that's a beautiful card. Thank you for that card. They're not going to care what you use to make it. Although we have some beautiful dies and things we'd like you to use, right? All right, so then this is going to go on here, and I'm not going to pop it up. I'm just going to lay it directly down. Woohoo! Good for you, right? I know. I thought that was a great guess. I thought Jane had it in spades when she bid $215, or when I read hers at $215. I don't know what order I read them in when I first saw them. So I don't know. You might have bid before her, but anyhow, I'm like, wow, she's really close when everyone else was so far off. And then I saw yours and I went, oh wow, amazing. So I've never done a thing like that before, but you will like this stamp set. It has no greetings. It's all images, but they're beautiful and distinctive. And so I know you'll find a use for them for sure. Okay, so now we need a greeting to put on here. You remember that piece that I cut off of white? That's what I'm going to use for my greeting. And I'm going to use something from the Ringed with Nature, which kind of matches this. And I'm into happy anniversary cards lately, and that's actually going to fit, or get well soon. I probably need a get well soon. This would be perfect, this paper, for welcome to your new home, which I don't think there is a welcome in here. No. But I certainly have other stamps with that on them. So I will be doing an online version of the BOGO, probably going to launch within the next week. I will open it up, let people know where the link is, upload all the product that's still available, and leave the door open. You can let me know what you want to do. I'm also toying with having a live where I actually go, this is available and this is available, and see what people want to do. So hang in there. I'm still working the details out, because that's just kind of what happens, right? Life is busy and hectic, and then just to come up with the right idea at the right time. All right, that's our greeting done. I'm going to do what Wendy did here, and I'm going to cut it off into little pieces. It's kind of a fun way just to pop those up and have them be just a little bit different than the usual straight-edged piece. So you take your scissors. I'm good with how it has landed nicely in the middle, top to bottom. So I'm just going to trim it down a wee bit. And I'm going to cut off up between get and well and soon. And find my little pieces here. And then I can put some dimensionals on them, and that kind of pops them up nicely. This is another way of doing it other than hand cutting them out. That's another way you can add dimension to your greetings and make them just stand out a little bit more. We do the same thing over and over again, right? It's good to step out of the box and try something different. And just use up your little bits of dimensionals that are on the ends here. Don't let them go to waste. Alrighty, this must be the get part. Oops. Get. I'm not even giving it a lot of thought. Well, soon. Let's put it right side up. Get well soon. Okay, and then I'm going to put a piece on the inside because it's a really dark card base, so I tend to like to have something ready in it already when I make the card. So again, it'll be 4 by 5 1/4. Here we go. Just about done. And wouldn't it be cute to take some of this leftover and put that on the envelope? That would look nice too. This paper is really pretty. It's still available for Celebration, so if you haven't placed a Celebration order or you need more stuff, definitely give some thought to getting it placed before August 31st, because that's when Celebration's over. You can still get some more various paper packs, embossing folders, including this gingham one, and the hippo dies and hippo stamp set. So still some great deals to be had. Let's add a little bit of bling. Let's see, what would look nice with this? Perhaps iridescent, no, I don't know. I don't have anything blue. What do I have that I like? I'm just going to put rhinestones on. Yeah, just plain old rhinestones. Sometimes that's just the ticket. I have a few left on this sheet, so we'll add these on. The person receiving this will just be happy to get it. And then adding them in sort of a triangular type shape brings your eye around nicely to them. I mean, you can add as many as you like, but kind of just brings your eye around to that sort of look. And here's what Wendy's original one was, with the cute little hippo and a lot of die cutting. This was going to be a quick and easy. So I hope you like that, and give it a try. Work with circles, work with squares, work with ovals if you have them, other punch shapes, but you can do the same thing. But I just love this look of the rolling circles. It just kind of made me happy. All right, congratulations again to Brenda, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. I'm going to have something. I haven't planned it yet, but there's going to be something. All righty, take good care. Bye for now.